Okay, so this lesson for today focuses on mating parts. In Autodesk Inventor, we use them. We call them constraints. Here in Onshape, it is so much easier than the way we did it before. There is a feature in Autodesk Inventor known as joints that is similar to this, and that's what they actually use for making assemblies. So we've done all of these before. Now we're on number 2, mating parts. So first watch the videos. This will prove beneficial for you guys while you do the tutorial with me. And then also watch different mate types. And after you've done that, now go to the exercise mating parts. Okay, so we are supposed to create an assembly with the parts from different part studios, and this is how it looks like. And then we're adding limits to mate so that the movement is constrained. It doesn't go past where it shouldn't. Okay, so click on the next page. It says here, open the public document. So click here. And at this point, let's split the screen. And then what you need to do now is make a copy. So just leave it as such, exercise clamp copy. Click OK. And then the next slide says, navigate to the assembly tab, which is down here. And then right click on the tab to rename it. So right click, rename, and then we'll call it clamp assembly. And then click on it. And now we're going to start off with an empty graphics window. Okay, so first insert the parts from the clamp parts studio. So insert, and then there's two. There's clamp parts and then there's handle parts. And if you click here, the clamp parts, there's 3 different parts there. And handle parts, there's 3. So just click on clamp parts for now. And so as you can see, it's in the graphics window now. Just click on it so it gets dropped there, and then click on the check mark. Okay, next side. We need to look for the triad manipulator on the rod. So there's 3 parts here. There's the fixed end, there's the sliding end, and then there's this rod. So click on the rod and then click one more time, and then you'll actually see the triad manipulator. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to drag it until it goes to the mate connector at the middle of the rod. Okay, and then we're going to right click that and then say move to origin so that it moves to that point. There you go. And then once it's done there, right click on any part of the rod and then say fix. Okay, so now this won't move. Okay, so there's that grounded icon. So next side, we are to put constraints now. Okay, and the first one is that we're going to be putting is called a fastened mate. Okay, or not constraints, but they call it mate. So we're going to do a fastened mate, and the fastened mate, it's like gluing them together and they're not going to move at all. The 2 parts aren't going to move at all. So this is the fastened mate right here. And if you leave your mouse there, you'll actually see instructions on what you have to do. Okay, but it's simple. Just click, and then we are going to fasten this fixed end, and then try to go inside and then get that center of that rectangle from the inside. Okay, so right there, click there, and then right at the end, and I'm just right clicking and then pressing the right button and then moving it around to move around. Okay, and then right here, click there. Okay, and then you could solve it, or you could just click check. Okay, and then you will end up having this. It's assuming that you're going to do another fasten, but we're not, so just hit the X there. So as you can see, now if I try to drag this, it won't move. This one's grounded and this one is fixed to the rod, so it won't move at all. Okay, so next, right click, zoom to fit. The next one is we're gonna put a sliding a slider mate onto this too. Okay, the slider mate is this one. Okay, so click on the slider mate and then click here, this part of the rod. Okay, and then right here, I'm just gonna look for this, the center of this rectangular hole right there, and then click check. Okay, so that solves it. And as you can see, it's there and it's supposed to slide. So let me zoom to fit. It's supposed to slide. There you go. It does slide. But look, it goes past it though. Okay, it goes past the fixed end and goes past this end. So we have to do some edits on this one, and this is what we call as limits. Okay, so the first limit that we have to put is, let's put 0 and let's see what happens. Okay, and let's try to click check and let's see what happens when it's 0. So there's that stop, so no movement to the end of the rod, but now we still have that problem. Okay, so let's right click on the slider, edit. So 0, that means this and this, they're flush. Okay, and then we want the maximum travel to 7.5 inches. So type 7.5 and then check. So this end, okay, is gonna travel 7.5 inches there. That's the maximum. So as you can see, it ends right there. So from here up to there is 7.5 inches. Okay, so next, insert the 3 parts from the handle parts part studio. So insert and then current document part studios handle parts, then there it is, and then just click and then check. Okay, next slide, we are supposed to put, so let's separate these 3 components. First, we're supposed to put a fastened mate on the handle and also on this piece right here. Okay, the threaded part. So right here is the first one, and then I think I got that right there. Okay, so click check. So these 2 are together now, they're fastened. And then this one, if you notice, this is a semicircle. Okay, so you got a concave end here, and then you have a convex end here. For this, it's called a ball end socket. So for your next one, we are going to put a ball mate. Okay, so the ball mate is this one right here. So ball mate. So click on the ball mate and notice how I'm going to put it. Okay, so you just have to select the tip of the ball right here, and then same thing here, the space, like so, and then hit check. Okay, so the next part, you don't have to do it. Okay, because if I move this, everything moves together, including this one. See, but for you to actually see what it does, I'm going to fix this first. So don't do this anymore. So this one's fixed. Okay, so it can't move, but this one isn't. Here's the movement of the ball. Okay, so that's the movement of it. So okay, so let me unfix this, and then let's go to the isometric view again. All right, okay, so there's the ball. I'm gonna right click the ball here and say reset so that it's lined up nicely. Okay, so next slide. make the threaded shaft, this one, so it can slide and rotate with the cylindrical mate. And then we are putting it here. So if you look at the cylindrical mate, look at that. There's that arrow right there, and then there's that rotary arrows, which means it could go in and then it could also rotate in place. So click on that. The first part would be, watch where I'm going to click. So here's that. Once you have these two circles, okay, highlighted, click. So we got that part right there. And then on this part, it's this part of the circle, okay? The edge of the circle. Okay, let's click. There you go, okay? So I was surprised there because it went there by itself, but these ones are fixed and this has a ball, so okay, so that worked. Okay, so let's see what it does now. Watch what happens. Notice I could actually move it here, and then I could also watch this hole right there. I could also rotate it, okay? But then it goes past it though. Okay, so we need to modify the cylindrical. Click on edit, and then we need to click on some limits, okay? The first one is the maximum, okay? So let's put, what's a maximum? It's supposed to be 0, okay? Let's click on that and let's see what happens. So see how that got connected there? So that's the maximum 0, and we should be able to pull it out. And let's go click edit on the cylindrical again, and then this is supposed to be, it's going to the opposite direction, okay, to the right. So we're doing -3. This type of movement going inward is positive, but going out is the opposite, which is negative. So that's why we had to put -3. So watch that. Okay, so there you go. So that's 0 inches, and then this is -3 inches. Okay. Next slide. Now let's try to drag the instances to see how they move. So if I click here and drag this, see how that passed through it, but then it drags that. Okay, so it works like a clamp. Cool, pretty neat. Okay. So it doesn't slide there, but here. Okay. Next. Now, you need to reset everything. Okay. After you're done playing it, you have to go click on the slider here, right click, and then reset it. Same thing with the ball. Reset the ball, and then reset the cylindrical. Okay. So that you're all set to answer the question. Okay. So the next thing that you have to do is you have to click on all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Let's click on isometric so we could just view it nicely. And now with everything selected, let's click on display mass properties, and then you'll see the figures right here, center of mass, X, Y, and Z. Okay, you should have this these numbers, okay? And then click on next, begin the self-check, and then look for this number, which one it is, okay? These are the numbers that I need to see, by the way. So move things around, give some space, and then go ahead, take a screenshot. I need to see your name, I need to see the figure, and then I also need to see the mass properties. Okay, and then send that to me again, alvaricoj@mdusd.net. And then do not forget to close your document, it's already saved for you.